Howdy folks, well, we're back here. Just got this Maple Burrow bowl sanded, which we called stage 2. And stage 1 was the first dye, the camel. And stage 2 will be to put the black dye on, sanding that off. So now we got it, pretty much this is what it's going to be. We're going to put some tung oil on here, and that's the finish. And it will need at least 3, probably 4, maybe even 5 coats, and it will become glossy, and it will look well, it'll look better than this, I think. But how good? I don't know. I'm suspicious that there's not going to be a lot of color contrast in this, but we shall see. So I'll slop some of the finish on here. And most of this is just going to be absorbed by the wood immediately, so there'll be very little, if any, gloss to it. And I don't know, I've taken to, instead of using a sanding sealer, I've just taken to using the tung oil as it is, and just figure I'm going to put on an extra coat or two. Some of the stuff, you know, the oil-based sealer is stuff. The only stuff I seem to be able to get is not mineral spirit based. That means I got to have a different material around to clean that up, and also. I can get water-based sealer, which I've used on occasion, but I just seem to have problems with it. It seems that I like to use the tung oil as a final finish, and you're supposed to be able to use tung oil over water-based sanding sealer, but I have trouble getting the tung oil to dry over the top of a water-based sanding sealer. So I like the water-based sanding sealer to seal up the wood, but what I don't like is that it doesn't. It seems to inhibit the tung oil from drying. So I've kind of taken to just not using it. We're going to put some in the, we're going to finish the inside of the bowl here with the first coat. As I said, this stuff will, the wood will absorb it. We don't want to go that way, we want to go forward. That's better. And unfortunately, I can see that this is not gonna, it's not gonna have quite the color contrast that I had hoped that it would. Should have probably known better. This just soaks right up. So for me, it's easier just to use this, and I'm sure the finishing police come around. They'll write me up on this. They'll probably report me to the management that I'm not using the proper techniques in finishing these bowls off. But you know, I don't think most people can't tell the difference anyway, and it's only a question of do you like a shiny finish or glossy finish, or do you like one that's maybe not quite so glossy. I guess I tend to prefer a piece that's ends up being pretty glossy. I think that shows off the characteristics of the wood the best. Now, you know, everybody doesn't like that, and we're sympathetic to that sort of opinion, but I'm just putting extra on here because I got a little extra in my I don't think it'll make much difference. It dries, just soaks in, and it's dry enough to put another coat on it, but not dry enough to where you'd want to use any sandpaper on it to try and level out any areas that are so there we go. It's going to be a pretty dark bowl. Doesn't have much of the light, or doesn't have very much of the brown in it, which is unfortunate. That's kind of the thing that sets it off. In this area, it's really pretty dark, and so it will be it'll be a dark bowl, darker than I like. I could have modified, you know, I could have affected that a little bit by doing more sanding, taking more off, but I was afraid I was taking off too much of the brown too. So anyway, that's the beauty of these things. They are what they are, and you know, it'll sell as good as any of the other ones, so we're not too worried about that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.